Oh no, not another EV. This year we've had almost 10. Did we need more?
Whatever we think clearly does not matter. Because MG thought the best way to move forward with its portfolio is bring in another EV. It's third in India. It's named after a castle, but luxury, it's not its biggest USP.
That's because MG has been clever and separated the cost of the car and the battery. That means MG is providing the battery of the Windsor as a service. So you pay 3 rupees 50 paise per kilometer. So you pay as you use. And depending on your finance package, you can either opt for one where you pay for 1500 kilometers as a minimum every month, or no cap at all but with a higher rate of interest.
The amount is over and above what you'd pay for to charge the car. So let's say you drive around 2000 kilometers every month, you'd pay 7000 rupees for the battery per month along with another 7000 rupees a month to charge it. So you end up paying for three different aspects: the EMI of the car, if you take a loan on it, the battery subscription, and then the charging cost. Complicated or the best marketing strategy for EVs? You tell us in the comment section below. The Windsor looks unlike any other vehicle in the market. You could say it looks like an egg from some angles. It's striking for sure, but pretty? Not so sure. It's different? Yes. But is it an SUV or an MPV?
The Windsor EV has an interesting set of dimensions. While it's almost as long as the Astor at 4295mm, its wheelbase is just 50mm shorter than the larger Hector. It's also wider than those two at 1850mm, but it's shorter in height compared to the Astor and the Hector since it's not a proper SUV. And since it's a crossover, its ground clearance is also 19mm lower than those two, but 9mm taller than the ZS EV. At 604 litres, the boot space is massive and much larger than the Astor and the Hector. And you can fit a lot, I really mean a lot of luggage in the Windsor EV.
The design turns a few heads for sure. We spoke in detail about that in our first look video, so we won't say much here, but what stands out is the unconventional look. The 18-inch alloy wheels look good. You also get flush-fitting door handles to help with aerodynamics. But the rear of the Windsor is the most conventional looking angle, and that connected light impresses and is a great culmination of the overall design. So the exteriors might leave you wanting, but the cabin will leave you speechless.
The back seat is the comfort zone of the Windsor. You can recline the rear seat by up to 135 degrees. It's a good enough angle to sleep in. And if you want to increase your comfort while you're napping, whether it's on the move or while the car is charging, or you're just tired after the shoot,
once you have the front seats folded with the headrest removed, of course, you can now lounge in the back seat, be comfortable, or even just take a nap. It's like a seat in a castle, and that's where the name analogy hits. Oh, and this large panoramic sunroof just makes the cabin feel more spacious. Apart from the cushioning, there's ample amount of legroom because of the large 2700mm wheelbase and the flat floor. The shoulder room is decent too, but the headroom could be a slight issue. And there's only one AC vent for the rear passengers with no blower controls either. That's not ideal during days where the temperature's soar.
at the front though, the comfort levels are the same as the rear seats, but you get cooling function here. Very nice move, MG. But apart from all the things that you see here like wood on the center console and the dashboard and subtle elements like the ambient lighting, the one thing that screams for your attention is this 15.6-inch touchscreen. It's the one ring to rule them all. But giving headlamp controls in the touchscreen is just plain ridiculous.
Thankfully, there are a few physical controls for the AC, but there's no dual zone climate control. The Windsor is pretty feature loaded honestly, but the biggest issue of the Windsor will be the fact that the touchscreen will be a bit distracting while driving. It also gets a floating center console that gives it additional storage space, and there are 3 cup holders here in an interesting layout. The center console also has a wireless charger. But to know more about the tech it packs, head to the Acko YouTube channel or click the link in the description below. MG is betting big on the safety quotient with the Windsor. There's good use of advanced high-strength steel throughout the body and ultra-high-strength steel in crucial areas of the chassis. And MG says 70% of the chassis is built with high-strength steel. Along with that, it gets 6 airbags, 3-point seat belts with reminders for all seats, electronic stability control, hill start assist, hill descent control. All 4 disc brakes and ISOFIX are standard equipment. But no ADAS? Don't ask us for the crash test ratings. We don't have them. So is the Windsor a castle on wheels?
What can you expect from a single electric motor with 134 brake horsepower and 200 Newton meters? Well, not earth-shattering performance, of course. The instant torque from the electric motor makes it feel quick, but not very quick. It won't push you into your back seat, really. In the sports mode, the driving experience is enhanced as the steering weighs up, and that adds to the experience. In the Eco Plus mode, the top speed is restricted to around 85 kilometers per hour, and it feels restrained. And clearly, that has been done in the name of efficiency, and that's a great thing.
The ride quality of the Windsor is pretty decent. There's a subtle reassurance from the suspension, and it does not feel bouncy at all. Given most of the weight is lower down because of the battery, the Windsor handles really well. But there is some body roll given how tall the car is. But overall, it is very comfortable. The Windsor EV supports up to 45 kW DC fast charging, which MG claims can help it charge the 38 kWh battery from 0 to 80% in 55 minutes. The Windsor also has a claimed range of 332 km on a full charge. Also, with a 7.4 kWh AC charger, it takes 6.5 hours for the Windsor's battery to charge fully. Interestingly, MG is providing free charging for a year with the Windsor via its eHub app. As mentioned earlier, MG is offering the Windsor EV in 2 forms, with the battery included in the price or the battery being offered as a service. With the latter, the prices start at 9,99,000 rupees, and the former, the ex-showroom price of the Windsor ranges between 13,50,000 rupees and 15,50,000 rupees. The Windsor EV rivals the likes of the Mahindra XUV 400 and 2 of Tata Motors electric vehicles, the Nexon.EV and the new Curve.EV. While the Nexon.EV is cheaper, the other 2 are more expensive than the Windsor. It is slightly fair to compare it with the XUV 400 and the Curve EV since they have similar overall length, but the Windsor's wheelbase is much longer. And it makes more sense to get the Windsor primarily for the second row of seats.